All right, so you're in time for another. Well, this time it's an Etsy unboxing. I don't generally buy from Etsy. Now, my husband already started opening it, and I was like, no, stop. You're going to ruin my YouTube unboxing. He thought it was his. All right, so I don't generally buy from Etsy because I more likely am the type of person, it's hard to explain this, that would rather buy my antiques from eBay because I can get them for bargains from sellers who don't know what they have. Pretty much, I call that a sleeper. On Etsy, the sellers are a little more educated. Now, I'm not saying eBayers or eBay resellers are dumb, but a lot of eBay resellers don't specialize in antiques or do a lot of their research or homework as much as the Etsy sellers do. So let's get this open, see what I got. And yeah, wow, this is some tough plastic. All right, I can't find the scissors. We'll have to use dollar store pruning shears. And let's see if they work on plastic. And so, like I was saying, I don't generally buy from Etsy. The prices are like triple the amount that I can get the same item for on eBay. That's not to say that I wasn't an Etsy seller at one time. I was also an eBay seller, so I knew where the money was eventually and quit eBay and started selling on Etsy. I no longer sell on Etsy anymore. And we got a bunch of stuff in here. I don't know if it's got my address on it, so I don't want any of you crack maniacs showing up at my doorstep. So I'm going to, okay. All right, so we got some like little thank yous and what have you. Okay, Vintage Dazzle. And she wrote me a note. And, oh, look what it says. And I'm going to cover up what it is. Michael, my husband, because he paid for it. Thanks so much for your purchase. I hope you enjoy your... And let's see what we got. I know. The anticipation is building. And let's see. Now, I connived my husband to buy this for me. He generally does not approve of buying me antiques or anything for that matter. He doesn't like spending money. And except for the basic necessities. He says, we don't need any of this stuff. But I don't know. Being a shopaholic, you need things. And let's lower the stand and get a better close-up look at this. Aha! Oh, this is actually really cool. All right, so you're like, what the hell is that? It's a boy. No, it's not just any ordinary boy. This is a brooch, and it's an antique brooch, Victorian era, of what's known as a Neapolitan gypsy boy. Yes, Neapolitan gypsy boy. And I have another version of this, which I'll show you in a moment. And this was being sold. Now, the seller really didn't know how old this was. Oh, yeah. This is a C-clasp. That's telling me a Victorian. Let's check out the hinge. Yep. This has a 3-segmented, like almost tubular shaped hinge. Yep, a Victorian. Definitely Victorian. Now, this is on I was going to say plastic. A porcelain plaque. So this was hand-painted. Some of them are slightly lithographed. Like they'll put a decal over them and paint over them. But for the most part, hand-painted brooch. And it's actually quite lovely. You can see this lovely brass colored metal. And it's a decent size. Now, what was I saying before? I totally forgot. I don't know. I have like attention deficit disorder. Oh, let me show you the other one I have. By the way, the glares suck. Let's find it in a better light. Okay, so now we have it without glares. And you can see the hand paint work or the hand painting. And he even has like a little peacock feather in his hat. Now, a lot of people think this particular character, which was portrayed in many, many different scenes on porcelain miniature plaques, is a boy. I mean, is a girl. And no, it is not a girl. It's definitely, well, if it was in today's day and age, it would be sort of identifying itself as something, but no, this is clearly a boy. But a lot of people think this is sort of a girl with a short haircut. And nope, boy, total boy. And he, him, whatever pronouns they use these days. And so I'm about to get vaccinated. Oh my God, this pin is like sticking. There we go. It popped off. So what's really cool about these things, these miniatures, now they call these miniature portraits, is not only were they found on pieces of jewelry, like brooches and such, they were also made into many other things, like little miniature pictures that would come in frames besides jewelry, and they're highly, highly collectible. The older, of course, they are, the more valuable and the better well done. They were not only painted on porcelain, they were painted on all sorts of different types of materials, such as mother of pearl, celluloid. That would have came probably like in the late Victorian, early 20th century time frame. They were painted on bone and ivory and all sorts of things, but porcelain is the most common. Now, again, the older ones from the 1700s with real portraits of real living people, not just depictions of famous painters or artists, were generally. Oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. Holy shit, this is bad. Yeah, I was saying like the early ones from the 1700s who had real paintings of real people because they didn't have photography back then are worth much more. So let's check out the other version of the Neapolitan Fisher boy or Gypsy boy, and we'll go over a little bit of the history of these miniatures and so on. So if you watch my channel, you've probably seen these brooches many, many, many times in these pendants over and over again. But if you haven't, I'm going to show you, here's my other version of the Neapolitan Gypsy boy. And a painting made famous by an artist, a German artist, I believe, or Austrian artist, by the name of Gustav Richter. And then pretty much a lot of people around, I think this was created in 1870s, the original for this hand-painted porcelain miniature. But then other people started to actually try to do renditions. So renditions similar to Gustav Richter. And we have many different renditions, such as this one with a little gypsy Neapolitan boy that has like a Tyrolean, is that how you say it? Or Tyrol area, Bavarian type of hat. Really, really nice. This was a great score for 39 bucks. As you can see, I have quite a bit of these type of hand-painted brooches. I really love them, especially the old Victorian ones, not the revivals that were brought back sometime in the 30s and the 80s. This one is done on ivory. Don't know if you can see that. Let's pull this forward. And ones on ivory are actually more valuable because it's not very common. Let's try to get in close. Sometimes you can see the ivory like striations going through it, but I guess you can't see it in this case here. And this one, which is my absolute favorite, this big giant one, as you can see here. I only paid $15 for that one. It turns out it's 9K or 10K gold. And this one is huge. Now, you don't generally get this lucky this often, but that's why I tend to be more likely to shop on actually eBay than I am on Etsy or Ruby Lane or any of those sites, because you can find better bargains there. But that's not to say you can't find them on Etsy. Now, how much do these type of pins sell for, especially non-precious gold? So, for example, we got a brass one here. This one tested for 9K, which is cool. This one, again, tested for 9K to 10K. Now, if you have, actually, again, this one tested, I think 9 or 10 or 14K. I should mark these things. But generally, if you have one that's in real, like silver, sterling silver, or precious gold, even as low as 9K and up, they're generally worth more than their brass counterparts, like this one. But that's not to say the value is not there. So generally, if I was to sell this in my Etsy shop, I would sell this for between $200 and $225. That's not to say it wouldn't sit there for 3 years and languish. But eventually, there's an ask for every seat, and a buyer would come along. Now, generally, a more precious metal one would sell, this generally would be like $395 to $495 all day long. And you can see it is clearly Victorian. We got the pin that comes out past the brooch. That's telling us it's clearly very old and Victorian, with the C clasp, like I showed you on this one. Well, I stuck it in here so we can't see it right now. And the hinge like so. But that's about the price ranges that these type of things go for. Now, this one over here, this would be $495 to $600 all day long. And that was just a $15 purchase on eBay. This one, believe it or not, even though it's smaller, as you can see here, and it's a pendant, is actually, since it's on ivory wafer, it's actually Lady Devonshire, who is a noblewoman. This particular one I wouldn't sell for less than $300 to $400. And that's not to say it's not gonna, it's not gonna sit there for years. Something like this will definitely sit in an online shop for many years at that price. If you want to get rid of it quick and flip it for reselling purposes, $75. Yep. And that's about the prices that some of these things are going for on eBay, as opposed to Etsy, someone selling this for $200, $300, $400. So, as you can see, prices are very subjective. Like I said earlier, there's an ass for every seat. And there's somebody with deeper pockets than you or me, and they're willing to spend if they like it. So, yeah, that's basically what's cool about these miniature portraits. Now, really fast, I'm going to show you some different kinds of miniature portraits on porcelain or little plaques like these that you will see upon collecting. So let's go ahead and go to the cutaway. And you can see some of them are not cheap. Yes, that much. This one, which is not very well done. Yeah. But wait, there's more. Here's another miniature. And this one being 14 karat gold, $950. And then here's one that's actually a print. It's not actually hand painted, for $38. And you got to be careful. There's a lot of prints. Now here's a whole bunch of miniature portraits on porcelain and different types of subject matter. Now, most of these are European, French, German, Austrian, Italian, English, but mostly European. And so let's go ahead and view them. And actually, let's see the prices. We'll do shop. We're going to click on shop right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, look who I found. Doesn't that look similar? It's actually our boy. And he's being sold for $299 doll hairs, down from $399. Whoa. And I thought I'd make you guys laugh. What do you notice about the title? Antique miniature portrait on porcelain of a lady with hat. And yes, everybody, this is like the ambiguous subject matter. This is like very funny because a lot of people that just absolutely think this is a girl. But wait, there's more miniature porcelain portraits, and you'll see some in these really fancy frames. Most of these type in these fancy frames are French. But let's check out one such item. $349. Now this one is not very well done. And I'll show you, you know, if you look, it's just a little sloppy, but it is hand signed. And I believe it was done on celluloid. The ones on celluloid, they don't get as much money. Let's check out some more. And we'll go back. Okay, so we have, hold on. Here we go. We'll check out this one. Here's another example of a small little miniature portrait on porcelain and being sold for $299 doll hairs. Now you might say, well, it didn't sell for $299 doll hairs, down from $399 doll hairs, but it will, trust me. Like I said, there's an ass for every seat. And Dr. Lori always says, well, that's not the price it sold for. Well, on eBay, I could probably score one of these for $15. But that doesn't mean that its value is at $15. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so here's some more. And you can see these prices are actually quite high. And prices on antiques are very subjective. You may get one of those books that give you price ranges. And you may get Dr. Lori saying, well, it sold for this. But it's always subjective because there's an ass for every seat. And here's such an example of what looks like Napoleon. Aha. And let's check out Napoleon. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Really, really cool. And these aren't real diamonds. These are just rhinestones. And this is what one of these miniature portraits look like in these frames. So you see these easel back frames. Really quite cool. And this one being sold for 1,100 doll hairs. All right, so my voice just cracked. All right, so you want to be like Dr. Lori? Well, what did it sell for? That's the real value. We'll find out. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's really nice. I'm going to hit it and add it into my watch list right now. No, don't add it into your watch list. You're not allowed to. Oh, wow. Okay, these are prices, though, for these miniature porcelain portraits. But let's go into sold. So how do we do that, you might say? Okay, so we're going to click on completed items. Actually, nope, sold items. We want to click on sold, not completed. And let's go ahead and do that. Sold items. Okay, and these are sold. Anything in green highlight was sold. $498.99 for this one. Original miniature, antique miniature original portrait painting. And I'm sorry, I'm filming my computer screen. $425 here, $399 for this one. This one's a Grand Tour Napoleon II portrait. Let's blow that baby up if we can. And it's not really working. But yes, these are the prices that it was sold for. And let's continue to look. Now a plate with a miniature portrait on it, $299. And I have actually almost the exact same plate. Okay, it's good to know that that's something that it would sell for. $361.50. It had 38 bids on it. And this one is a antique porcelain portrait miniature of a Renaissance woman. But wait, there's more. One of Jesus. Jesus Christ portrait miniature, $365. And a watering can with a portrait miniature, $344, 21 bids. But wait, there's more. $300 for this little vintage Victorian oval miniature hand-painted on porcelain portraits thing. But wait, there's more. $299 doll hairs for this little young man portrait in miniature. But wait, there's more. $298 antique portrait miniature. Now do you get the gist of it? This is actually the prices these sell for. So now, just because I did a video showing you that these things are valuable, don't start collecting them. I don't need any competition, damn it. And I don't want to pay high prices. I want to pay like $39.99. I want to pay, this one I got for $20, and it turns out to be real gold. This one I got for really cheap. I forgot the price, but trust me, it was like under 30 bucks. This one, 15 doll hairs. And again, this is my favorite out of all of them. Look at the size of this. This is just absolutely amazing. It's probably Marie Antoinette, I guess. And yeah, 15 doll hairs. Sometimes you can get lucky. Now, the seller did not list this properly, did not even know what to call this, did not use the correct search terms for it. And since nobody else saw it, that's why I got it for the opening bid of 15 doll hairs. And that's all she wrote, guys. So I'll see you guys all soon. Hope you learned something, and I hope you learned that you are not allowed to start collecting these. I'm telling you now, I'm threatening all of you, each and every one of you. Do not collect these because I don't want to have any competition. Thanks for watching.